some Chechen leader, I want to meet this guy. Some Chechen leader also saw the video and thought it was aces. Okay, but if a Chechen leader thinks that you're cool, I mean, those fuckers, man, they're made of hardwood, right? I mean, dude, those guys are like solid. I mean, I bet when they fuck their women, it's a miracle that those girls survive. You know what I'm saying? All hard all the time, but
God, he is something.
Yeah.
Man, for those of you who don't know, that is Coach Red Pill. We'll be talking about him in a little bit. But hello, chat. How is everybody tonight?
See, Vicky, you see how you talked and I didn't interrupt you while greeting people?
I'm always going to interrupt you, Dan.
That's how you...
It's my job.
No.
Yes.
So, what is up, chat? We are live. Sorry I let Vicky talk first. Never happen again.
It will. It will.
No, it won't.
Yeah.
But
they're not here to hear you.
Oh my God, Vicky. You just you do it right away too. I let you talk. Fuck, man. So a lot's been happening. We have the Ukraine shenanigans going on, but we're not going to talk about that.
Not in the way you think.
Mostly because, I don't know, I'm not some expert
Me neither.
on the topic. I'm not just going to talk about it because it's topical, although that would probably be a good way to grow the channel. What are we doing? What are we doing? We should have been talking about Ukraine, damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Probably.
The first topic, though, is Eric July, I want to say. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we think that's how it's set up.
Yeah.
But we'll find out.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and jump into it.
Play the fucking video.
Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman. I didn't know how I'd think about her. I really didn't. I'm not a huge... I don't like race swapping at all for any reason whatsoever. It's kind of inexcusable. Another thing, and this is a little bit of a spoiler, I guess, so warning for spoilers. It's not a major one, but there were only a couple good people in this movie. You had Bruce Wayne, Batman, and you had Alfred. Those are the only two good white people. The rest of the three other major players that I would consider overall moral good people were, you had Jim Gordon, who's black in this. You had Catwoman, who's not white in this. And then you had the mayor, who's a black woman. Again, very much on the nose for current day Hollywood. Did not like that. Took a little bit off the score for me, to be honest. Overall, my experience with it is an 8 out of 10. I think this is an 8 out of 10 movie. I think it's a really fucking good movie. I don't know how much if you're coming in there looking for later, but overall, Robert Pattinson as Batman, I think he nailed it. I think he did exactly what Matt Reeves was asking him to do. Again, the way they shot it, some of the scenes, he's vicious, he's intimidating, he's brutal, and he definitely is Batman. He doesn't want to be Bruce Wayne. You could tell that's the feel they were going for. They delivered on that.
I was already going to be go into it being very critical of it and laugh at it anyway. Even if I still was going to watch it, because there was no way I was going to take Zodiac Killer Riddler serious as well as Black fucking... Well, they got a couple of tokenized characters, but one they think is more acceptable because or kid shit, whatever. And this Twitter user saw a Batman review that said he didn't like that there were more good black people than whites. I'm stunned. I don't know why he would be stunned at such a basic position.
Much on the nose for current day Hollywood. Did not like that.
All right, so that's not a controversial statement. It's just that, okay, you had these tokenized characters that are thrown in here. Pretty much all the white dudes are bad people in it, and that's basically what he's talking about if you listen to it certainly in context. It's not a controversial statement. at all. But apparently, as you got crackhead motherfuckers here, holy fucking racist shit. Like,
It's sort of a weird situation.
Well,
right?
yeah, I don't think he's racist, right?
I don't think he's a racist
I think he's a
either.
drama merchant.
But the way he presented it, he sounded racist.
Well, yeah,
Like-
he sounded racist, but like my biggest thing is like, oh, the bad guys were white, and it's like, I don't know if you know this, but all of Batman's villains except for Bane are like white. You know,
And he was played by a white dude.
I mean, well, yeah, they did make Bane white. That was kind of fucked. But like, they're all white. They're literally all white. They're always white. Yeah,
they're always white. Even the minions are
typically white. Yeah.
Yeah. But Eric July, I don't know that he helped. Instead of them saying, like, okay, maybe it sounded racist, but I didn't mean it that way. Here's further context. Eric July just says, he's just talking about tokenism. Well, he never says anything about tokenism. He just alludes to this, well, I guess that's just the norm for Hollywood, whatever that is actually supposed to mean. And I guess you have to watch all of their content to know what he means, right?
Well, yeah,
but you shouldn't talk like somebody's watching you all the fucking time.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's racist. I don't think he's retarded.
Yeah, I think he's kind of retarded. And I did have an issue with Eric July trying to throw out this, well, because of Eartha Kitt. Like, bitch, that woman was Catwoman before I was even born. And I've been on this planet for,
way too long.
Way too long. Right? And the fact that she got that role back in 1967 was a big fucking deal.
Was
right?
it?
Yeah.
Okay.
How many black women were on television in the late 60s?
I have no idea.
Not very many.
Huh.
Not very many.
But yeah,
so
it's pretty dumb.
To try and like just be like, yeah, whatever, Eartha Kitt, kind of bugged me, and I just said kind of way too many times.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you did.
I'm medicating for a cold, but yeah, it was just weird. And then Eric July ends up going on this stream. I guess the dude's name is Jody, and he's still mad at Ryan Kinnell because of the whole Zack Snyder mess. Right?
Yeah.
And the geeks and gamers shit, and he starts trying to talk about that. Now this dude must weigh like 350 fucking pounds, and he's sitting there in this big old chair, and he's got his two friends to the side. And the reason I didn't add this into the clip was all they did was yell over each other. And he's talking about, he's bought this, he's renting this studio, he's got this studio. Well, according to rumor has it that he pays for that studio with his welfare checks. But they just started, like, he's yelling nigga at Eric July. Eric July is calling them crackheads because that's his gimmick, and trying to and using these real sophist arguments about how he wasn't supporting Ryan with his tweet promoting his video, calling the internet weirdos crackheads because of his mild criticism of the Batman movie. If you want to see it, go to Eric July's channel. He played it too. And it's just a hot fucking mess.
Yeah.
But kind of funny. all at the same time, you know? So, anyway, that's all I have about that, unless you have something else, Dean.
No, I just think it's really dumb to complain about like the bad guys being white. That's pretty like it's like literally all of Batman's bad guys are white.
Yeah,
All of them.
all of them.
They're all white. Why is all the bad people
No,
white?
are we supposed to race swap the villains?
I mean, they did with
Would
Bane,
that be an
but they did it
acceptable?
like the opposite
Yes,
way.
but would that be an acceptable race swap for Ryan Kinnell and Eric July? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to Coach Red Pill.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Now, my own experience has been, just to give a little background about myself, I Dartmouth class of 95, philosophy, Russian history, double major, graduated with honors. I worked as a screenwriter in Hollywood, and then I published several novels with Big Five publishers in New York. And after that, I got into film production, film directing in South America. And then I got into venture financing with different businesses, including renewable energies businesses. And then I got into the YouTube hobby because I was sort of like semi-retired as of 2016. And I got into the YouTube hobby, and it's just been a hobby, a pastime. It's been very rewarding in many ways. I've gotten to meet really great people, such as yourself, Felix, and now you, George. It's a pleasure to meet you, by the way. And I am in Ukraine because I married a Ukrainian woman. I met her when I was living in Paris. She was the au pair of some college friends. And here we are, in 2022, the invasion has happened. I was caught completely by surprise, but it's clear to me that the Russians have decisively won this war, and it's just a matter of time before they gain complete control of the country. And so my priority at this time is to help bring about the end of the war as quickly as possible so as to minimize loss of life. Now, I have become extremely hardened against the Zelensky regime, and that might prove to be a bias that I have. But the reason of my hardening position is that I started this this situation, this invasion, essentially neutral.
All the System Pig journalists are here. See? All these people, they're all System Pig journalists. They're all like, here to report on how they led Ukraine up the garden path, and now Ukraine is fucked.
The things that have happened, insofar as the Zelensky regime is concerned, things that I have seen, the things that I personally have experienced, have led me to believe that the Zelensky regime is thuggish neo-Nazis who should be expunged. And then I took the train from Kiev to Kharkov, where my family lives. We live here because my wife is from the area. And it was very, very clear that the Russians have no interest whatsoever in harming the civilians or antagonizing them. They have been targeting military installations and facilities. Anyone with even a little bit of common sense would realize that this provocation of NATO egging on Ukraine to get into this war, because that is what happened. And the other thing that is becoming increasingly clear, the reason that the bulk of the Ukrainian army is being encircled in eastern Ukraine is because they were preparing for an attack, an invasion of the Donbass area. They had been egged on by people like Victoria Nuland, Wendy Sherman, Anthony Blinken, people in the Biden administration, egging them on to invade the Donbass, knowing that it would provoke the Russians.
The Russians had a problem in 2014. Even though they had Crimea, they didn't want Ukraine joining NATO. How to avoid this fate? How to avoid Ukraine joining NATO? Very simple. See, in the NATO bylaws, in the articles of NATO, no new member can join if they are in conflict, either external conflict or internal conflict. And so the Russians hit on this very nifty solution. The southeastern regions of Ukraine, specifically around the cities of Donetsk and Lugansk, they are predominantly Russian. And there have always been Russian separatists there. And so the Russians, the Russian Federation, the Kremlin, they started feeding these separatists money and weapons, on the sly, of course. And all of a sudden, these gangsters, because they declared themselves the Lugansk People's Republic and the Donetsk People's Republic, and they broke away from Ukraine. And the Ukrainians sent their army to restore order, and all of a sudden you have this very low-grade civil war. That's basically what happened. And what happened here? Well, very simple. The Russians simply beat them to the punch.
Yesterday, last night, as a matter of fact, I became aware of a video circulating that used my content to make points that I had never made. It was a video, it is a video, that is playing right now on Russian television as well as Ukrainian television. It's a Russian language piece that is clearly propaganda masquerading as news. There are people who claim, and they seem to be in a position to know, that there are Bitcoin assassins, and I cannot believe I'm saying this, but there are Bitcoin assassins who apparently are looking for me. So I'm going to have to go. And this is a very stressful time.
Yeah. You still there, Vicky?
Sorry. Yes, it is a stressful time while he's hiding in a basement because the Ukrainian government, as Smig says, wants to Minecraft him.
That does sound pretty stressful, but I think they have bigger problems on their hands, personally.
I do. Well, here's the thing. I don't know if anybody in the chat is actually all that familiar with Coach Red Pill. For those of you who aren't, he showed up. The first time I saw him was towards the end of Gamergate, and he was part of the manosphere. And he'd do videos about how toxic women are and try to help the beta males, you know, and the incels and the MGTOW. And it was just like the cringiest fucking shit. Like, never take this man's advice on women because it's just bad. And he kind of disappeared for a while. I guess he was still out there. I don't know. His Coach Red Pill channel is pretty much empty now. But I did find this other channel, the one that I used in the video, and I want to say it's like Flaming Marks or something like that. You can go back to the video and see what the channel's name was, but it looks like it's all the same kind of content he was doing in his back in those manosphere days. Just cringe. The man is so full of himself that he's one of those guys that talks with authority even when he's talking out of his ass. You know what I mean? So he's doing these live streams from the Ukraine, and what let's see. Yeah. Bitcoin
funny.
Assassin is pretty fun. It does sound like something Smiller would be into. And he says, well, they're using my videos for propaganda. Well, I don't know if they're mistranslating shit, but the stuff he leaves out is just amazing, right? So in one of them, he's giving the history of Crimea, and I didn't add this because I didn't want to have to explain this in the video and make it too long. But he's talking about when Russia took Crimea back in 2014. And he says, well, they're 90% Russian in Crimea. Well, they're 90% Russian in Crimea because in 1944, all of the ethnic Crimean Tatars were exiled and genocided by the Stalin regime. Okay? So that's why they're 90% Russian. That's kind of an important thing to leave out when you're telling the tale, right? And then he had mentioned in the Black Pigeons video about how the Ukraine, sorry about the motorcycle, I have to open the window, it's hotter than hell, about how the Ukrainian government was about to invade in South, these two breakaway republics in South Ukraine. And then he goes on, that story that he tells about the Russians arming them, and that he tells in another live stream. So he contradicts himself the whole time. That he tells in another live stream about how the Russians armed them and they broke away, blah, blah, blah. What he doesn't tell you is that those, in the video he says, and the Ukraine refused to have peace talks. Well, that's not really true either. It's not that the Ukrainians refused to have the peace talks. The separatists refused to have the peace talks under the Treaty of Minsk, and Minsk II, right? They took two shots at the UN took two bites at this apple, and the separatists were just like, fuck you. And they consider it part of Ukraine. It's like their sovereign, it's their sovereign country. Now, I don't have a whole lot of sympathy for the Russians in this fight. Ukrainian here. Those are my people. I'm watching them bomb the city where my dad was born. So it's I readily admit my own bias. But Coach Red Pill, man, he's just a fucking loon and a goon and a retard.
Yeah.
And a grifter.
Yeah, I would say so. But I don't really have much to say on the topic because I don't know much about the topic.
Yeah, I don't claim to be some sort of expert.
Well, you gave your opinion, Vicky.
I did give an opinion.
You piece of shit. You're not even
But
an
my
expert.
opinion was, based in the shit that he leaves out. So when you listen to him, if you listen to him, go and look up the shit he's saying.
That's just mean, smug.
I know. It's going to happen anyway. I mean, it's bound to happen.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
anyway, so
yeah.
That's all I have.
Well, then, I guess we'll move on to the final topic.
All right.
This was real. This is in regards to my Indiegogo campaign, A High School Girl in the Crusades, which I've now left open because people are starting to see following notice asserting that Liam Gray is a holder of rights to certain content present on your account or campaigns. The complaint has stated, quote, in good faith, and it's not in good faith. It just tells me how to fight it and send an email, which I already did. And it says, please see the complaint below. If you believe that your material has been removed or disabled by the Gray proper, a statement of complete in good faith belief. Yeah, right. John has repeatedly used my name in advertising and promotion of the campaign as a means of generating funds.
Yeah. It was all about talking about his Indiegogo campaign.
Yeah.
That's kind of what he does though, right? Like his Twitter got taken down because he called some dude a cracker and he says, "I was just calling a racist, and then I took my Twitter down." Right? But let's be real. Um John Delarose just broke the cardinal rule of crowdfunding. He pushed the envelope a couple months back when he was on stream and offered to dox Micah on kiwi farms if somebody sent it to him.
Mhm.
But this, I don't care what Liam fucking did. This is a step beyond.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really
I know
give
how
a
you
shit
feel
about
about doxing.
doxing. I don't care. But it does make John like a major hypocrite, right? Because he cries about it. So
Yeah,
that
I think
part's annoying.
and I get I get what happened, right? He fucking John was so pissed that Liam managed to get his campaign taken down for a couple of hours, right? By Indiegogo before Ethan like intervened. Um that he did it. That he just showed Liam's address and his phone number right there on screen.
Yeah, not
And
once, but twice
but
too.
twice, yeah, once you do it the second time for like 5 fucking minutes, um, you know, I've never seen a privacy complaint where they just straight out take down the video. Usually they send it to you and they're like, you can leave the fucker up for 36 hours, and at the end of 36 hours, we'll make our determination. But oh no, no, YouTube was pretty definitive about this one,
Yeah.
right? And I can see he'll be like, I didn't mean to do it. That's what he's gonna say, right? Oh,
Gross. I mean,
I didn't realize
I'm
I was
sure
doing it. Was
he's.
inadvertent. It was inadvertent. That's not really what I was gonna do. I wasn't trying to dox Liam, but it was right there for 5 fucking minutes.
I mean, and not once, but twice.
But twice. Yeah. And okay, Liam can be a pain in the ass, right? I think he's emailed Indiegogo like 4 times. And I get why Liam did it, you know. He's been harassed for months. There isn't a single solitary stream. Well, maybe one in the last 2 months where Liam hasn't been mentioned. He's in the title of like half of JDA streams. And those are just the ones where he's in the title, but he's talked about all the time. Right? And he feels that, having his name on JDA's campaign was a step too far. And he's entitled to feel that way. He's entitled to do what he did. I don't agree with it. I wouldn't have done it. But I see why he did it. It's like, let
Yeah.
the poor dude just get on with his life.
I mean, I don't care. I like don't let him. I don't give a shit about that, right? But I do find it funny that like we made John have to talk about this on his stream. You know? So fucking
Yeah. Yeah, yes, that's the best fucking
all the
part.
while he's also broadcasting like these mean comments on Ethan's
Wrecked
crowdfunding.
Planet
Yeah.
campaign. Oh my, if you guys haven't seen him, lots of people bitching about late books.
Yeah.
Wanting refunds they're never gonna see because Ethan says the money's already been spent.
Oof.
Yeah.
There's a lot
Yeah.
of unsatisfied customers.
A lot of one poor guy's been asking for refunds for like 5 months. Just to be told in the last few days that there are no refunds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyways,
I
I think that is gonna be it for this stream.
think so too.
Yeah. Well, anyways, It was not a pleasure. I hate all of you.
I like you. I like most of you.
Yeah.
Most of you.
Fuck
I like
all
our
of you.
chat in general. Be nice to the chat, Dean.
Never.
I know. Can't even be nice to me.
Oh, I mean, have you met you?
I have, and I don't blame you.
Yeah. Anyways,
Good night, everybody.
good night, guys.
See you